previous video, I made this deburring tool, and I'm going to show you, do a short tutorial on how to make that again in case somebody missed that, and just do it as a standalone video. It's raining out today, and I was going to mow, but this gives me the opportunity to just sit here and carve all day. So, but I'm going to start off with this short tutorial on making this deburring tool for you. And what I did was, and I bought these at Harbor Freight. It's just a sanding drum kit, and I think I paid $7 or $8 for it. And it has these little mandrels in here, you can see it, different size mandrels, and they're for these sanding drums. This one is a little too big to use. I tried to use it a couple times on my Fordham, but it's just a little too big, a little heavy for that little handpiece. So I'm concentrating on these little ones. And now what I can do is take this big rubber piece off here, because these pieces are too big, and I can cut these down into quarters, and they'll work perfect for this, for what I need for this. But what it is, you can see the rubber piece right here, and you have to have that rubber on there to keep the pad from slipping on the mandrel once you get going. So, and all you do is, there's a couple washers on each end, and then this nut here that you tighten down, and it spreads the rubber a little bit and tightens it down. So, but with that rubber on there, it squeezes up against the pads and keeps them from just spinning on the shaft. So what I'm going to do is I've got some 3M Scotch-Brite pads, and this one is a coarse, and then I have some medium grit, and I have a tool that I made that I'll show you here in a little clip. Lynn said I'm not going to show you how I made it today, but it's just an exhaust coupler that's from a 2 1/4 to 2-inch diameter connector, and all I've done was go around the edge and sharpen the edge on it, and then kind of serrated it with Dremel and a little stone. So, and then I take it and I just bore in a stack of pads and just bore into it, and it cuts these round pieces out, and then you just stick them on the mandrel and put it together. But I'm gonna go in the shop and cut some of these, and then I'll come back and show you how to put them together. Well, it stopped raining for now. I hope it stays away for a little while, because it's noisy. I love the sound of the rain on the roof, but when I'm trying to do a video, it's awful loud. So maybe it'll stay away for a little while. But before I go any further, I just want to let you know that this is not an idea that I came up with. This is something that I learned from a DVD series that I bought several months ago from fishcarver.com, and Ed Woodlicki has a classroom series that's it's 5 or 6 courses long, and each DVD series is anywhere from 4 to 5 or 6 hours long. So the 2 that I bought was the carving fins, and also bought the one on burning fish scales. And I bought the one on burning fish scales because it had a tutorial in it on how to make wood burning scales, making the tips yourself, and which I found appealing, and I did a video on that one as well. But the fin carving video had a tutorial on this deburring tool, and I like that idea as well, because I used in the past I've used these little Dremel pads. They're just Scotch-Brite. These little tiny pads from Dremel, and they work great. And this is just one that mounts to a quick connect mandrel. And the problem with them is they wear down fast. I mean, this is fairly new, but after one project or one use, they get wore down to nothing. And I think I've been buying these at Lowe's, and a package of 3 or 4 of them is like $5, a little over $5. So they're kind of expensive for what they are. So compared to this, there's a big difference. These are relatively inexpensive. I should have done a cost per part, per piece, but I didn't break it down, but it's still cheaper. But that kit comes with 2 mandrels in it. It actually comes with 4, but 2 of them are the same size. And this particular one is for a 3/4 inch drum sander. And what I've done was I took the drum that was also the same size, and I cut it up into 4 pieces. There's 2 on this one, and I got 2 on another one. So, but I use them to put these pads on. So I'll show you how to do that. I'll bring the camera down here and show you how to do that. Alright, so the mandrel is made up of these pieces here. The nut that holds this on is reverse thread, so you got to turn it right to take it off. And so you put one washer on, and then the rubber washer, and then you slide the pads on. I use 2 pads. You can use 1 or you can use 3. You could probably even get 4 on there. But I normally just use it with 2. And then you put the washer on, rubber washer. Put the nut back on. So you're turning it left like you would be taking it off a normal bolt to tighten it. And I found that I can tighten this by hand and it holds it. And the purpose of those rubber washers is to grip the sides of the pad. If you didn't have those rubber washers on there and you use just regular washers, it would have a tendency to just spin on the shaft. So with those washers on there, it grips it and it holds it firmly in place. And again, you can put a wrench on there if you want, but I just tightened it by hand. And to drill the holes in these things, once I cut the pads, I used that tool that I made, and I just cut the shape out, and then I kind of roughly eyeball the center of the pad, and then I put it in a vise, and then I hold the top with a pair of pliers, and then I drill the hole through the pad with the drill bit I use, just slightly bigger. I'm not sure what size it is, but it's just slightly smaller, not bigger. It's slightly smaller than, maybe close to the same size as the shaft diameter of the mandrel. But you want to do it fast, because if you start off slow, it'll just twist up fibers on the drill bit off the pad and ruin the pad. So start it and then push it through, and it goes through pretty easy. But anyway, I put these on. If the hole is a little off center and the pad is wobbling, which this one's pretty close, you can take I usually take my coarse bit, and this doesn't hurt it at all. And you want to wear your glasses, because this throws off little pieces of this. And I know I've said that 100 times, but this abrasive material will fly off of it every time you use it. You can feel them hitting you. But I'll just take it and I'll run it over a rough edge of this bit, and what that does is it pulls off fibers and makes it even around and kind of balances it out. So the kit comes with a big 2-inch sander, and this is it's really too heavy and big for that Fordham handle. So, but you can use this on a drill, cordless drill. I think it would be fine. It also comes with this smaller 1/8 inch bit or mandrel, and I guess if you wanted to, you could cut this and make smaller pads for this. But I still got a bunch of these, so I just use these when I do that. And I use the drum that come out of the kit, sanding drum, for these when I need to sand. Try that. I think you'll like it. I know I do. It's great for getting on, like on the fins. It's when you've got the fins carved. It's good for getting on and deburring the fins. I've used this one inside the mouth already, kind of smoothing off some of the inside. It's good for a number of things. It doesn't take the place of hand sanding, but it can smooth wood. And I'll show you. That's probably too rough to do, but I don't know if you can see that or not, but you can kind of see where it smooths it out. So you got to be careful with them, because they will take wood. If you stay in one spot too long, it will start cutting into the wood. Let's see if I can show you on this edge here. You can see that pretty crisp edge there. So it will cut into the wood. It will eat the wood down a little bit. So just be careful with that. Like I say, it doesn't take the place of sanding, but it'll help smooth it down. So it'll help eliminate some hand sanding. But anyway, I appreciate y'all watching this little tutorial on this. I decided to do this standalone, just in case somebody hadn't seen it. But try it. I'll put a link in the description below on if you don't have a Harbor Freight close to you. I'll put a link to Harbor Freight, to that kit. And then you can also get these mandrels from MDI Woodcarvers Supply, and I'll put a link to that in the description below as well. But I'm getting ready to set up and do part 5 of the bass. But I appreciate y'all watching this short video, and if you like it, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you on part 5 of the bass here.